Welcome back to the R.D.C. show. Richard?
Derek?
Chris?
Well, it's the week after the elections. I guess I'd like to give congratulations to President Obama. You won again. And I would also like to congratulate Mitt Romney. He ran a pretty good race and came that close to being the president.
Pretty good fight.
That being said, as soon as the election was over, the next day, all the talk shows, Rush, Hannity, Ingram, all these people were just flipping out. Here's the basic. I started writing down the main reasons they were saying Obama lost, or that Obama won and Mitt Romney lost. One of the reasons was Obama was too dirty in his campaign and Mitt Romney was too nice. That Obama was just so dirty that his campaign was, the most vile, evil thing that you've ever seen. And Mitt Romney's was just glorious and nice and never said anything bad about the president or his policies.
He didn't?
If you listen to them, that's what they say.
Oh, damn.
Romney, he was too nice of a guy.
I didn't even hear them the next day. I was trying to. I didn't get a chance, though.
That was one of the reasons. Another reason they talk about, I don't mean to be racist, but the Mexican vote, Spanish vote, they said that Obama got more of the Mexicans because we were giving them food stamps in Mexico before they ever came here, and that was Obama's grand plan to win the election. Personally, I don't buy that the Mexican vote changed the election. Maybe I'm wrong. I have my own theory that I'll get to here in a minute. You guys have any comments on the Mexican vote changing the election? Do you believe that's why Obama beat him?
I think you already had that vote anyway, so I don't think it really changed anything.
Christopher?
No, the question is about the Mexican vote.
Yeah, they blamed some of the blame that Romney lost them.
Romney.
Romney. Part of the blame is that
right?
Romney lost the election because of Mexican vote. I'm just telling you guys the top 5 reasons
I did hear that.
I heard these guys talk about. And do you think that's why he lost?
Number one, I'd like to say that I do not congratulate the Democrats for winning. And, I don't congratulate either side because I didn't vote for either side. And I think they're basically the same. I mean, you did say it subconsciously.
Romney.
Yeah. Because really, it truly is. There really, truly is only one party. As far as the Mexican vote question goes, I mean...
Did it cost Romney the election?
No, not single-handedly it didn't. I don't think so. But... his stance on immigration and everything.
It did hurt him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because,
everything
hurt him. He talked about keeping only the ones that had degrees and had good jobs. Well, shit. Okay. So 99% line up. Because you know what? They're in the same boat as us.
Yeah.
Unless he counts, no offense, working on those plantations or farms or whatever, when they got them around here. Junior does them when they go pick the fruit and stuff. I'm not trying to be bad. This is just what they do. I don't know what you call it when you're out there picking the fruit off the farms or corn and farming.
They're pickers,
fruit pickers, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean those
pickers and weeders.
Unless you count those jobs, they don't have great jobs. But another reason they claimed he lost the vote was Hurricane Sandy. It did not help that Mitt Romney said during the campaign that FEMA should be privatized and basically that people should be on their own and you should count on a big corporation or count on somebody like Donald Trump to help you out when everything gets wiped out. Personally, I think FEMA is a good thing. When you have houses wiped off the face of the planet like they were down there, you cannot count on a business person to come in there and do the right thing. Not in a situation like that.
No, you can't count on
They're going to look at losses and how much money they're going to lose, and they're going to fold somehow, some legal way to get out of it. Look, you can't get how many times you see construction jobs in the city that don't get finished on time or get delayed, and then you end up seeing 2 or 3 different companies do it. And I know because we work by the one right by us. You know what I'm talking about. And they tell me all the time, the guys told me all the time about other companies. Like one year they were redoing the road, remember up here by QD?
Yeah.
And then remember they stopped and it didn't get worked on for like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
Basically, they went through 2 different companies before they went back and redid it. Then remember they redug it up and redid it again?
Yeah.
Well, when they just briefly patched it, that was just a patch job because they never did what they were supposed to.
Right.
Because in the middle of the thing, they got into a contract dispute over the cost.
That's
Company got kicked out. They hired 2 more companies, same thing. Took months for they finally fixed that patch road. Imagine that going on down in New York. I just think it's better that it is the way it is. Maybe FEMA is bad, but I don't think you can get rid of FEMA. But that hurt him, saying that we shouldn't have it, especially at a time when a hurricane came. Now, people... Never mind. I all I was going to say is, all you Republicans that hate global warming and say it's a myth and it's fake, and the weather patterns are just God and nature, does that mean that God and nature wanted Mitt Romney to be your president? I'm just saying. Got to wonder. Another reason they said that hurt him was Chris Christie. They say that Christie thanking the president for the help that he gave him and being and saying that he wanted to meet the boss, you know, Bruce Springsteen, that hurt him because it showed he was walking across the aisle. And it's funny the way they all turned on him so fast too. He was your guy 2 months ago when he gave the speech at Romney's convention, and everybody said that was the best speech anyone gave there, blah, blah, blah. Christie was the man. He could be the guy and next time around. But immediately when he thanks the standing president, who happens to be a Democrat, when his town that he governs just got destroyed, what any governor would do in that situation, and you guys turn your back on him. I heard him on Laura Ingram's show talking about he's a turncoat, he's a traitor, blah, blah, blah. I mean, these people are just going crazy about him. I don't think Christie had anything to do with you guys losing that election.
No, he didn't. I don't think so either.
Basically, Republicans, if you want to learn to win elections, you have to change what you say. You have been telling the same story since Ronald Reagan was in office. Whenever a Republican comes up with a way of fixing anything, there's 3 things. Give tax cuts to the wealthy because they create jobs. Dig for oil and gas because it creates jobs. And cut benefits to the poor because they're all abusing them, and it's redistributing the wealth from the rich to the poor. That is all you guys ever say, and until you change your methods and realize there's more of us now than there are you. This isn't 1980 anymore. This is now 2012.
Yes,
So it's 2000.
2012, yes.
Well, I wanted to say 2000.
Oh,
I don't know if
gotcha.
it's like 2010s or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people in
21st
dire
century.
straits than there are people that are in good straits. And the people in good straits are who you won over in the 80s. And until they change their motto and change their method, I don't think they're gonna always have this problem. I mean, look, they pointed out that they have not won the popular vote since Reagan. They've had presidents win because of the Electoral College, but they have never won the popular vote since Reagan. That's pretty bad.
You got them electoral votes.
What I would like to say in regards to those topics that you brought up, and all of them are pretty good, but I think I can cover quite a bit of that in just saying that the reason that the Republicans lost the presidential election is because they didn't turn out their voters. And the
Yeah, I heard
reason
Rush saying
that
that
is such
3
a
million
shock. Yeah,
didn't
exactly. It's in
turn
the
out.
statistics.
But do you know why they didn't turn out? If you pay attention to Facebook, there was tons of
I don't care about
Republican
Facebook.
Christians. There was 3 million strong last time I seen that would not vote for a Mormon.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
not
know if
worried
that has
about
anything
them.
to do with it, but
I'm not worried about them. You know, the real issue was they didn't turn out their voters, and the reason it was such a shock to so many people, why they couldn't believe it, like they were caught blindsided by his landslide.
well, the other
victory.
thing
You know,
is they
would've called-
didn't believe that Obama supporters would turn out
What-
again.
But
They
no,
thought they
why
weren't
did they
coming
think
out.
they had it in the bag? Why?
Why did they think
Yeah.
they had it in the bag?
Yes.
Right.
Why were they so certain they were going to win? Why is it so shocking to them to lose?
The
that
main
way?
reasons are because no president has ever been reelected without higher than 50% approval rate, and no president has ever been reelected with the unemployment being as high as it is, and the debt being as high as it is, and unemployment being as high as it is.
Here's the real reason.
Technically, or statistically thinking, looking over presidencies over all time, there was no way Obama was going to win again.
The market's good.
He had too many things going against him.
The market's good.
Here's the real reason. This is my argument on this. The real reason that so many people were caught off guard and surprised and blindsided by his victory, especially by 100 electoral votes.
Well, so far,
is because what has the conservative
whatever's going on in Florida?
What has the conservative mouthpiece been telling everybody? That it's a dead heat. It's easy.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they live in what's called an information bubble. An information cocoon, where they only hear what they want to hear, and their information only comes from themselves.
Yes.
So they never want to acknowledge. They don't ever want to acknowledge that there's a, the pollsters and everybody else told them that it was going to go this way, but they didn't want to see it, and they stayed in their information bubble, and they stuck to the message, and they just kept pouring it on, and hoping for the best. And so many people that listen to the conservative,
it is the same thing
mouthpiece, they believe that's reality. So
people,
when it turns out to be such a go the other way so much, they're in shock.
Because if you watch our shows over the last 3 months, I've been saying he was going to lose hands down, and that was because I was listening to them all day to do research for our show, and all they did say the whole time, it's over, it's done.
It's over.
I mean, just before the election, Rush kept talking about
that could have cost them the election right there.
Yeah,
it could have kept fucking people at home because they said, "Shit, I don't even have to vote. They ain't polled me, and I'm not even."
He kept talking about,
we're gonna win anyway.
This is
2010.
It's 2010 all over again. We're gonna win, but at the same time they're saying that, they're making our people, hit Obama's people, Democrats, go out and vote. They outvoted them in strides.
Dude, in my polling place, the white male was a minority. I mean, I was surrounded by women, dude. Just all the way up and down the line.
Wow.
More than I've ever seen. Ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he lost the women. Why did he lose the women's vote? Because they want to tell you... They want to tell you that they're not going to give you any help with your child because you are living off the state, and at the same time they're telling everyone you have to have a child, even if that child is from incest or rape. You still have to have
that
stuff right there hurts them all the time. When are they going to learn to not even open their mouth about that stuff when it gets close to an election?
The problem is it's not just a scarlet letter for Tom Aiken to wear. It's everybody.
Oh yeah.
All the Republicans, they say, "Holy shit, this is the way they really think."
But there was two of them. That Murdoch guy said the same thing a couple weeks later. So there's two Republicans that both lost their Senate seats, by the way, but both of them back to back within a matter of time come out and say this about this rape and incest.
Laura Ingraham, she absolutely lost her mind, dude. But I on the next day, but I did want to say on a couple of things that you brought up, a couple of notes when you were talking about food stamps given to the Mexicans to sway their vote. You know what? In a way, I don't want to sound, like what I'm about to say, but I think it is the truth. So, in a way, all these social programs do go to, it does buy votes.
Well, yeah.
I mean, just like everybody else, just like the Republican side. How do they vote? They vote with the interest of their pocket. That's the way they vote. They say, if this is for me, this will benefit me, I want this. Everybody does the same thing.
Right, and that's what I say. By design or not, there is more people that do not.
Do you think there's a way we can reform that and make it so it's not that way?
We can only hope. It's too hard to say.
I mean, what can we do to reform that? If you ask me, one of the biggest problems with government money going back to the citizens like that, like in forms of welfare and shit, is that we basically just give them money now.
Oh, yeah. Just have it. Yeah, do what you want with it.
Whatever you do with it. Like the Pell Grants. They just give them Pell Grants, and they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want with that money. They could go out and buy a car, buy clothes, buy whatever, drugs in some cases. It's like, what the fuck?
You're supposed to pay back on your loan.
It's supposed to be for school. Yeah, but there's, so what do you do to, because we don't need that. We want to help the people that really need the help. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, yeah.
It's got to be monitored and regulated. That's the only way it can be done.
Yes.
But then both sides will argue that
So you
that's
think that
it's
more
like
legislative? What do you think?
yeah.
More
Yeah.
oversight, more
Regulation.
more bureaucracy or whatever the word is.
Look, going through the system, at least in Michigan, it's monotonous and it's dumbfounded. But I can easily see by what I do that how people can cheat it. It's probably not that hard. So there should be a way. It should be done
I've seen
different.
people commit unemployment fraud frequently.
Yeah.
So one guy went to jail and got unemployment while he was in jail somehow.
There should be regulations to fix that.
If you're sleeping with the
How's
boss's daughter,
how's he calling tomorrow?
if you sleep with the boss's daughter, you got perks like that.
Now, let me give you some reasons why I think Mitt lost. One, he never gave any real solutions to what he was talking about, or real credibility to any of his answers. Like Derek said a couple weeks ago, all he's giving you is talking points.
Talking points.
He never really said how he was going to do anything.
And stats.
And stats and statistics.
Oh no, it's like I said with Paul Ryan when we did that show. They were painting in broad strokes.
Mm-hmm.
There was like no definition. It was really fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't tell. It sounded great.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And speaking of Paul
Absolutely
Ryan,
right. Yes.
I believe
Lack
Paul
of
Ryan
details.
was one of the reasons
Oh,
that hurt him.
Yeah.
Paul Ryan hurt him no matter what you people conservatives want to say. His
Probably
budget
did about
plan, his attack on
Probably did.
Medicare, Social Security, unemployment, and the people that are really disabled and need the help, that scares a lot of old people. I know for a fact. Global warming. I think their stance on global warming hurt them. They always act like it's fake and it doesn't exist. And then they say, well, if it is, there's nothing we can do about it now. Bullshit. We can do something now so that 10 years from now we don't have storms that make Sandy look like, here's Sandy, here's one in 10 years.
Yeah.
You can do stuff to try to stop it. I think enough people believe in it. And I'm not saying it's all man-made. But we can do stuff to fix the earth because the earth used to fix itself.
It's going to.
And it can't fix itself now because we've taken up too much of the vegetation and built stuff on it.
No, it's. I think it's gonna change, and we ain't gonna like that shit.
Talk radio. Why is it talk radio never backs a candidate? They love them all. But you know, if Hannity, Rush, and Ingram all got together and picked a so-called conservative early on in the race, that guy or woman would probably win the party's endorsement. There's only one person out of them was on Mitt Romney's side early, and that was not Laura Ingraham, but the chick, the other one, one that was on
Dr.
Belmont a
Laura?
couple weeks ago.
Tammy Bruce.
No, you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Is she someone's wife? She was someone's wife, ain't she?
No, she's the
No?
one. Remember, she's the one. Well, I forget her name, but there was only one conservative woman. She's
Ann Coulter?
Ann Coulter. There you go. She was the only one who had Mitt Romney's back early on. I think it's funny how they don't ever back anybody, but they like to talk about everybody that they love them when they're there, and as soon as they lose, they hate them.
That's politics.
I
really do
this
like
with
the
the
infighting in
new
the Republican
ideas.
Party. I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
You like it?
Yes, I love the show, even though I know it's just fucking theatrics and it really doesn't mean anything. I do like it. I consider
It's amusing.
1240 and 1320 to be channels where comedy can be heard all day long.
Yes.
C-SPAN?
It's hilarious.
What is up with Glenn Beck asking for money all day long? My program can't go on. I have been losing money for a long time. Ever since
I haven't listened
started.
to him. Is that really going on?
Yes, ever since I started this company, I have been losing money. So please go to my Buzz, whatever the hell it is,
Are you
and donate
serious?
$9.99. Listen to him.
Wow!
Listen to him.
Is
He's
he
asking
really
for
talking
money all day long. All soft.
That's
And
good.
the day after the election, he was all like, "This country,
Did he start crying?
country is in bad
I bet
problems.
you started crying.
We don't know what we're doing.
Awesome.
We have more takers than we do makers. This country is so bad. I don't know what's gonna happen."
so bad.
He said he was
was
talking about
down.
eating ice cream all night long and crying in the freezer.
Damn.
Okay.
He was about to go sit in the corner and shit.
Now that you've won, though, Mr. Obama, President Obama, here's 5 things that I think you can do to fix this country and become
Help this country.
a great president. If you continue on your path of not doing anything, but I'll get to that. First one, fix the tax reform. You and the Congress, just do it. Don't give us a bunch of crap. Everybody knows the tax reform needs to be fixed, needs to be figured out, and everybody
took it out.
Everybody should pay the same rate. From me, to who has a kid, to my brother who doesn't, to Mitt Romney who has millions. Make everybody pay the same rate.
Same flat tax.
Let's work together in Congress and get shit done. Quit being asses. Come together and do what's right for the country, not what's right for your party. Love the country, not a party. Do what we put you in there to do. Fix shit. End the nonsense.
You don't just represent the people who voted for you. You represent us all.
Yeah.
That's right. We put you in there to do a job. You get paid good money to do it.
Yeah.
Do it. If you don't want to do it, let us go in there.
Your job's only supposed to be a public service job. Shit, you shouldn't be getting paid shit.
Another one, fix Obamacare. Take away the stupid mandate. Take away the taxing of people who can't afford to buy it. Come out with a single-payer program where if you make a certain amount of money, you can sign up for this health care. That way, anybody who wants health care can get health care. And Congress, don't give us this bullshit about single-payer health care. The whole reason we have the stupid mandate put in there, which is going to tax every one of us if we don't have it at the end of the year, is because you guys would not allow a single-payer. If there's a single-payer and people sign up for it, then they get it. Now, if you don't make it's a very simple concept. If you make more than, say, $70,000 a year, unless you only make $70,000 a year and you got 4 kids, you know, there's exceptions. But you come up with if you only make 70 grand and got 4 kids, 70 grand ain't nothing.
No, it isn't.
So you might need it. But if you're a single person making more than 70 grand a year, you can't sign up for this. But everybody else should be able to sign up for this insurance, knowing that it's not going to be the greatest insurance. We're not going to get the good doctors that the rich people get because the rich people are paying more to get the better doctors. We're going to get the kids, but at least we have something. At least we can go to a doctor and say, hey, my arm's been numb, my leg's numb, I think I might be having a heart attack, without having to go to an emergency room and pay 10, 15 grand, and you end up paying $500 for, excuse me, that's an over exaggeration, $70 for a single aspirin, $30 for a napkin or a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We need to end that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
fix that problem. Obamacare should have never been what the monstrosity mess that it is today. It should have never come to that. Now you're there. Fix your own policies so that you can look somewhat decent as a president. Number 2, tax cuts that give job creators, businesses, give them tax cuts to bring their companies back to America, and give current employers that are here in America tax cuts and deductions at the end of the year for giving their employees steady raises and benefits. That's a way to help the poor man out and the rich man do it. If he's getting a tax cut, believe me, they'll do it. They always want something out of it. They don't want to just give it to us. The government can do that without taking more money and being communist or socialist by taking everybody's money. They can do stuff like that. You can't tell me they couldn't come up with some kind of program to do that. We've done it in the past. We can do it again. And my number one reason, number one thing, Mr. Obama, which I have to give a huge shout out to the city of Flint, city of Grand Rapids, city of Detroit, Washington State, Colorado State. Mr. President, legalize marijuana and end the nonsense. Pay attention and look. You can heal the planet. Creates more oxygen than any other planet. You can make jobs by cultivating, industrializing it, people selling it, whatever. You can create work and money. You can take money away from the drug lords, crush them basically, because then you can concentrate on the real drugs that are coming into this country and basically cut them off. And not only that, America, it's already here. You have cities that defy states. You have states that defy the government by saying, what is wrong with letting people smoke a little weed? And I guess that's all I got to say on that topic.
That's pretty thorough, I gotta say.
That's a good segment, man.
If I could make a few comments, I'd like to. On the one thing that you were talking about there about the taxes, and what I think we ought to do as far as tax code goes, I think it should be as simple as possible. Now, I was just in a business today for a little bit of time, and I heard some overheard discussion among the owners about certain taxes and how they were upset, and it just, it's something that I'm not unfamiliar with. I've heard it before, but just they were going over all their different taxes. I think we should really simplify the tax code. I agree with you on that. It really should make this much sense. And the way I think we should arrive at that number is we got to look at, okay, how much money does the government?
All it should say is you pay whatever percent.
The tax code should be 2 or 3 pages at most. Enough that anybody that can read and understand and go,
2 or 3 words.
Now, you're right. We got to figure out a percentage. But the percentage is the same. If I make 10 grand a year, I'm still going to pay, say that we make crazy numbers, 10%.
Well, it's not hard
I'm
to
still
figure
paying
out what the real
10%.
numbers
But if I make
are.
$1 million, I'm still paying 10%. But the $1 million guy's 10% is going to be a whole lot bigger than the guy who's making 10 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's still going to pay 10%. I mean,
yeah.
We just come up. We got to figure. They can sit down and figure out a figure that's.
I got a formula already. I already have a pretty.
I mean, there's a few out there. Look at
14%. You'd be good.
There's a 23% one that's out there. There's a 999 by what's his name that was running. The pizza guy, the Pizza King.
Yeah.
But still, he had a plan with a percent that would supposedly work. You could do it with any percent, so they could figure that out. What was your next one?
I lost now.
Don't fix the Obamacare.
Well, right, fix the Obamacare. There you go. That's basically falls into taxes too. But what they should have just made it simple and said it was Medicaid for all or Medicare for all.
Pretty much what I said. They should have made it. You agree pretty much with what I was saying.
I don't want to throw any restrictions on it. I want to say for every citizen, regardless of who you are, I don't care if you're a millionaire.
Well, I just threw that in there because they all were worried about. Well,
no,
you're taking away
everybody
my
is
good
treated
healthcare.
equal. If they don't want to go out and buy their own
they want to
healthcare,
still
which
buy
they
their-
probably will
okay,
anyway,
yeah.
they could have it.
Okay, I got no
we're
problem
not going to
with
say
that.
no to anybody.
I
That's
got no
just not
problem with
right.
that,
You just,
okay.
yeah. But I had to say that. But I didn't want to argue with your point. But
No,
yes.
that's fine. Well, you could have. You guys could have jumped in, but that's cool.
No, I wanted you to have your say because I know you worked on it.
I understand.
But when it comes to that, in my opinion, everybody gets it or nobody gets it. Period. It's that simple.
But you have no problem with a single payer type of Medicare for all program.
I would prefer that over what we have now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be penalized.
Where are you feeling
Right.
on that, Derek?
Right.
You think that is a bad idea or a good idea?
This goes into a whole other subject right here.
Well, just
Yeah,
a quick. He
yeah.
can just give us a quick answer.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like the single payer myself as well. I mean,
Okay.
it just makes more sense to me to do it that way than give them the option. Just have the option. Healthcare should be an option.
And of course, I'm sure you both agree with they should work together and get shit done.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Then the last
Well,
one,
maybe they should no.
legalizing marijuana.
Yeah, I mean, I believe they should. Because
It's
people
already
really need
begun.
that stuff.
It's already
you know?
begun.
Yeah.
People really need that
Which
stuff.
is, if you're familiar with the prohibition of alcohol, that's basically how that started.
Yeah.
We started having wet counties, wet states.
That's
and
why I say for the
it
first
just
time in
basically
my
should-
adult life,
They should.
I'm proud of my country. They finally woke up. Not all of them, but we're getting there. Well, I guess that's about it for this topic, people. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.